Humans have been running for millions of years, but until 1954, running a mile within 4 minutes was considered to be an impossibility. But on May 6, 1954, there is a person called Roger Bannister. He ran a full mile within 4 minutes. He ran exactly in 3 minutes and 59 seconds, 4 microseconds. Because of that, even if it's just by 1 second, the 4 minute mile impossibility was shattered. After this impossibility was shattered, in the last 70 years, do you know how many people have ended up running sub 4 minute miles? More than 2000 athletes. So what happened? There was a belief that something was impossible. Then that belief was shattered. Then a new belief about possibility happened. Then everybody was able to proceed with that new belief. Situation number 2. ODI cricket has been around for the last 50 years. The first ODI cricket ever was played between Australia and England in 1971. And until 2010, scoring 200 runs in an ODI match was also considered to be an impossibility. But then, in 2010, February, Sachin Tendulkar scored the first 200. He was the first 200 not out. He did that first 200 not out innings versus South Africa. And after that, in the last 16 years, close to 10 people have crossed the 200 barrier in an ODI cricket match. Again, first, it was considered to be an impossibility. Then one person shattered that impossibility. That old belief was replaced with the new belief, and the new belief prevailed, and more people started to jump in the bandwagon, and the new belief prevailed. Now, what are all the things that we consider to be impossible in our life right now is only going to be an impossible thing until somebody shatters that belief, gives a new ray of hope, and then everybody else starts to do it. Now, I am coming at this angle for this video mainly because CA exams are in and around next 2 weeks time. A lot of you would have already made up your mind on quitting this CA exams. This video is particularly made for those people. If you are already in your good mental space, you are very hopeful about writing the exam, you can actually close this video and you can go and carry on with your business. This video I am particularly addressing for those students who are very afraid about their future and they don't have the guts to go and write the exam and see that thing called fail in their mark statement. And because of that, they have mentally given up already, they have thrown their towel already, and some of them have resigned and decided to not go to the exam hall at all, or they are finding a reason to tell their parents and find a way to not somehow go to the exam. They are just searching for the next excuse. This video is particularly for them. Now, you want result. You all want a positive result. And how do you think we get positive result? To get a particular result, we should have a primary belief about that particular avenue. Now, for getting a result, you need a belief as a raw material. Now, how do you think somebody can have that belief in the first place? Belief comes as a result of proof. Now, what you have been reiterating, reinforcing your life on a daily basis, what type of proofs that you are creating on a daily basis, based on which your belief system is formed, and based on which you will ever get any type of result in your life. Now, rewind your life for the last, let's say, 12 to 20 months. What have you been reinforcing? What have you been reinforcing in the form of actions? You have been a quitter. You have been quitting exams. You have been throwing the towel even before giving a fight. 90 days before the exam, you have a high hope about your future. You start your preparations with high spirits. But then 30 days before the exam, 20 days before the exams, things did not go as per your plan or what you visualized 90 days ago. Things did not go as per like fairy tale script. So you decide that no, this is not the journey I asked for. Let me skip this. Let me abort the mission, and hoping that in the next attempt, everything will be again like a sparkle of magic dust and things will happen so smoothly. If this is what you have been reinforcing in your life so far, you have created yourself an identity that you are a quitter. So first we have to break that. How do we break that? We find the courage within ourselves by lowering the expectations that we don't need to get a rank. We don't need to even clear the paper. Let's even lower the expectation down to that much, because you have already resigned mentally that you are not going to even write the exam, right? So that anyway is going to be a failure result, isn't it? So now we are not going to go so like sabotaging ourselves by just lowering these expectations down. That's not the problem here. We can bravely lower the expectations that we don't even want to clear this time. That gives us a sense of liberation. That lowering of standards eases up the pressure a bit. But what we can rather hold ourselves accountable is that come what may, we just have to show up at the exam hall, give a genuine fight for 3 hours in every paper, and before that, whatever the time that we have until the exams, 10 days or 7 days, whenever you end up watching this video, from the moment you watch this minute of this video until the exam, you just study for 7 to 8 hours a day. Again, you lower your expectations down on that aspect also. You don't have to clock like heroic 12-14 hours. You don't have to pull all-nighters and all. Just study 7 to 8 hours every day. And go and write the exam. And in that exam hall, those 3 hours, give your best. That's it. Let the marks come whatever they may come. You skipped this exam. You are about to skip this exam by thinking that if I go and write this exam, I'm going to get only 100 out of 300. That's what you think. I won't even get 100. But comparing with this expectation, you create a new reality where you actually study the next 7 to 10 days. You go to the exam and write those 3 papers very, very good and very well. And what if you end up getting 120 out of 300? That is still a 20 mark surplus, don't you think? Only when you go and write the exam, you will get a feedback from the institute saying that, okay, you got 100, you got 130, you got 145. Everything is a feedback, don't you think? But if you don't even venture out yourself, don't even risk yourself and showing up at the exam hall and just sit comfortably at your home, you are just going to get 3 A on your final mark sheet. Result is still going to be unsuccessful, but now you are even in a much worse position because you don't even know how much you are worth. At least I know, right, when I go and write I'm 130 worth, 135 worth. So from there, I know, okay, it is only one way up from here. I'll tell you my story. The first 3 attempts I wrote my inter, I did not even prepare well, but I still went and wrote the exam, wrote some 3 pages, 4 pages. You won't believe me. I have gotten 13% aggregate, 15% aggregate, 20% aggregate in my first 3 attempts. I don't remember the marks very well, but they are not more than 20% aggregate. That much I can tell you. Then the fourth attempt was again a repeat of whatever that happened in the third attempt, except for one thing. The first 5 exams I did not write well at all. I gave up already. But what happened? The day before strategic management exam, ITSM, Infotech strategic management exam, I was super frustrated. I just wanted to change things. We all have one day leave before the exam, right? I studied so well the day before strategic management exam. I still remember I went to this Nungambakam CA Institute study hall. The reading hall gets opened at 8 o'clock. I remember I sat in my place at 8 o'clock that morning. Till 1 o'clock, I did not even get up for a break. So I read for a full 5-hour stretch. I finished the paper one round, the entire study material, strategic management one round. Then the second half of the day, I did some questions here and there. Then the next day when I went and wrote the strategic management paper, I wrote the paper only for 55 marks. Infotech was 50 marks, strategic management 50 marks. I wrote the strategic management part full 50 marks and IT Infotech paper here and there some 5 marks. Totally I wrote for 55 and I got 40. Now, I have never seen a 40 in my paper until that attempt. It was November 2010. Now, that was the proof that I got in my career, which I am talking about all along. The proof that under my name, I can see a number 40. That gave a completely new identity about myself. So I thought only others were deserving to get numbers like 50 plus, 60 plus in their mark statement. I was destined to get only 25, only 17s, only 30. It was my belief by that point of time. Even that at the fourth attempt, I had already come to that belief. But the strategic management paper, I wrote so well. I even got out of 55, I was able to convert into 40. That gave me that hope that I was not that bad. And then after that, I started studying very seriously from my 5th attempt. But the reality turned out to be a different way. That's a story for another day. I was able to clear only in my 8th attempt because I kept giving 2 groups at once. Had I given 1 group at a time, I would have cleared probably in my 6th attempt itself. That's another story. But still, 5th attempt, 6th attempt. 6th attempt, I remember, I got some 230 aggregate out of 600. 230 aggregate, 300 is supposed to pass. And then I also, in my 7th attempt, I got 277 aggregate. And then in my 8th attempt, I got some 310-ish and I passed. So I'm just sharing my story with you because I'm one of you. I was one of you. I don't have, to date, I'm not a rank holder. I have never studied for 12 hours per day, like how you see these fancy posts that you see on LinkedIn and YouTube. People who say that you can study easily 12 hours per day and do that for like 6-7 months at a stretch. I never had such heroic experiences. I'm absolutely one among you. So you can trust me on that. That getting that first 40 under my name was a game changer. So I want you to have that experience for yourself. Go to the exam. Study just 7 to 8 hours for the next how many ever days that you got. Lower down your expectations. Just go to your exam with an open mind. But just fight for those 3 hours in the exam hall. It will be over before you think. And you will be glad that you did not sit at home, but you rather gathered yourself up and you went and had the experience. You will be absolutely thanking yourself. Let's say you thought that you are going to get 110 or 100 or less than 100, but let's say you got 125 or 130. That's almost 40% aggregate, right? Just slightly above 40% aggregate. Now, what will that do to your psyche? How do you think that is going to reflect in your thoughts and behaviors a student thinking that I'm a 20 aggregate student and a student who thinks that I'm a 40 plus aggregate student, don't you think they both will behave in a very different way? Now, you have already gotten 40 in this attempt. Let's say you get this. Let's say, unfortunately, you still could not clear. That's a different story. But failing by getting 40% aggregate is also a different thing, isn't it? Now, you will start to think about yourself. I'm a 40 plus student. And it is not going to take much of an effort to move from 40 to 50. How much difficult do you think that is going to be? So that will definitely change the trajectory of your career. Let this be the last video that you need that final bit of convincing. I hope if this is the first video that you ever saw of me, you can also see the other videos of my channel. In case you still find me to be, why should I still trust this guy? You can find the other videos of my channel and see, you can read the comments and you can think, how do I stand in this CA, content creation sphere? But let's say if you are a regular viewer of this channel, you know about me, we know about each other. I reply to almost all the comments that I read. So you have all the reasons to trust me. Just take that leap of faith. Even if you have not touched your books for the last 1 month, don't write off this attempt yet. Things haven't gone that worse yet. You can still create a new destiny for yourself. I'm not guaranteeing that in a matter of next 3 days, if you study, you are even clear, and I'm not giving any guarantees about that. But I'm giving a guarantee on, if you gather and go and write this exam, you might end up getting a result beyond your expectations, above your expectations. That is what I'm guaranteeing you. Even let's say the mark has gone down lower than the previous attempt, the experience of getting yourself up and showing up and giving it the fight, you will feel mighty proud about yourself. So know this sequence. Proof comes first, then comes belief, then only you will get the result. So if you want that good result, that positive result, your starting point is to create that proof. And that proof is that you have the identity that you are a fighter and not a quitter. For me, I don't think I'm going to become a millionaire or I will end up selling, let's say, 10,000 copies of my book because of this video. I've been pretty much making this type of video every attempt. What gives me the ultimate satisfaction is that, let's say this video gets 2,000 views and let's say 400 people watch till the end of this video. Let's say out of that 400, 100 people actually follow the advice and gather the courage to go and write the exam. And out of those 100 people, if 10 people come and comment after, let's say, 30 days and said that I saw your video on that day, I gathered myself and went to the exam hall, you changed my mind, and I went to the exam hall, gave my full effort on the exam paper, and I thought I would get 100, but then I got 125. Now I am very hopeful about clearing in the next attempt. If I hear even 10 comments like this, I truly will believe that this video had achieved its objective. I am looking forward to such 10 comments in a matter of a month. On that note, I wish you all the very best. Write the exam well. I'll see you later. Thank you. Bye bye.